TxStampin Sharon, and I am just pleased as punch to share with you what I have up my sleeve today. If you're new to my channel, I want to welcome you. I invite you to hit the subscribe button below and then hit the notification bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a video, do a YouTube live, or do a premiere. If you currently don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you live in the United States, I would be honored to be your demonstrator. You can contact me in the description box below. Just simply hit the read more and you will see more information down below my video. Let's get started on these fun projects. On today's video, I'm going to be talking about the new release of the coordination products that Stampin' Up! Released. Actually February 4th, and I've just now had a chance to play with it. I've been playing with too many other things. But the fun thing is I got Pleased as Punch Designer Series paper. And I am pleased as punch. It is such a fun Designer Series paper. And as you look at my flyer, it is right here. There are other ones. This is dies that cut out the birthday cake that's in Sale-A-Bration. These are the Nature's Thoughts dies that coordinate with Positive Thoughts that is in the catalog. This one is the Special Day, and it coordinates with a stamp set. These are the dies that coordinate. And so there's several other things. If you're lucky enough to have gotten the Ladybug, there are dies that coordinate with that as well. And you purchase the dies. The Ladybug was free if you had a $300 order. This one, I just got it into, and I'm going to be playing with that one next. So anyway, we're going to get started. So the papers coordinate with punches. So we have the tulips that go with the Tulip Builder Punch. We have these cute little flowers that go with a Sale-A-Bration punch. Then we have the hearts that coordinate with the two hearts that you could purchase in the mini catalog. I mean, the list just goes on and on. So there's one more that I have to show you. And it is this one. It is the umbrellas that go with the umbrella punch, umbrella builder punch. So first of all, to get started, you just need a pair of snips. And I'm going to take the pattern. Let's see. Oh, this is hard. Which one do we want to do first? We're going to go for the polka dotted one. And I'm just going to cut around. That's why you need the snips, because you don't want to ruin the other images. So I'm just going to kind of cut around it. And then I'm going to get my umbrella punch. Now, when the way the punch is, I'm going to lose that umbrella handle if I don't do it correctly. So I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just cut that off. So that I have it. And then I'm going to take the punch. And leaving myself enough to be able to hold on to that paper to get it in there. Line that up. Punch out my umbrella handle. Let me just have a little scrap here. Then I'm going to come in with the rest of it. Punch out the umbrella. Now on the back side of the umbrella pattern, there's raindrops. We got to have raindrops. And I'm not going to cut all the way. I'm going to just cut off a piece so that I don't ruin all the umbrellas on the other side. And then I'm going to line it up to 5 1/4, getting my blade back in that groove where I cut before, and just give that a cut. I have my Whisper White thick layer that I've already scored. I'm going to give that a good crease. We're going to layer that here, and I just made a decision. Let's make this card different than our other one. How are we going to do that? We're going to grab our paper again. And we're going to punch out some more umbrellas. Now remember, if you have the stamp set, you could always just stamp the handle and then punch it out. But what would I do with all these umbrella handles if I didn't use this, right? So we're going to add dimensionals to our umbrellas. Digging our nails in to release that backing. Now, as far as the handles go, it's probably best if we just add them on with snail. They're pretty tiny. Put one here. Add our umbrella. We want to make sure that we're not overlapping. So I'm going to kind of, let's see, how do we want to do it? Yeah, let's do it right there. So for this one, for our sentiment, I'm going to use black memento. I have a piece of Whisper White that is just 1 inch by 1.5. We'll stamp Showered with Love. And I think since we have so much crushed curry on here, I cut the crushed curry 1 1/4 by 1 3/4. We're going to adhere this. And then I'll show you the other card I made that's going to be totally different. That's what makes this so much fun. You can do so many things with the paper, the punches, the stamp set. There we go, Showered with Love. And there's my other card. I only did 1 umbrella, which is where I started with this one first, and I decided, no, let's put more umbrellas. All right, let's keep going. Grab our Granny Apple Green and kind of stamp off the bottom. Add dimensionals to our tulips. I'm going to add one here. And my other card, I use different colored tulips, so it's going to look totally different. And right there. So flipping it over to the back, I'm going to add some snail and put a leaf there. Again, turning it over, we're going to pop this one up with a dimensional. Put that one there. I just realized I didn't tell you what size this one was. This is 2.5 by 3 3/4. And we're going to mount it on Gorgeous Grape. That is 2 3/4 by 4. I've run a piece of Whisper White that is 4 inches by 5 1/4 through using the basket weave embossing folder. And we're going to add this to here with some adhesive. Liquid glue gets down in the corners of that weave. I have a piece of Gorgeous Grape. That is what I call standard, 5.5 by 8.5, scored and folded at 4 1/4. We're going to add this with liquid glue. We're going to add it to our card base. I have a scrap piece of Whisper White. I'm going to get my Gorgeous Grape out. I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday. Grabbing another punch, the classic label punch, fit this perfectly. And I'm actually going to add snail on the right side, a little dimensional for the left side, and you'll understand why. Because this side has a dimensional, so I'm going to have the snail on this side, and then I need a dimensional on this side to keep it level. Put that right there. Look, two totally different cards. Happy birthday. Okay, how about that Thoughtful Blooms, which was a free Sale-A-Bration item. Sale-A-Bration items are still good until March 31st of 2020. Here's the paper. Here's the back side. Okay. I have cut a strip of the flowers. So I want the strap, and I cut it just 2 inches by 5.5. Again, with a card base. Whisper White thick. And this time, we're going to bring in some pieces from the stamp set using my Granny Apple Green. I want to just stamp some of these. And I'm going to adhere this strip right here on the left-hand side. So I have an idea. We're going to change this card up on the go. I love it. So you know how I carefully punched out all the flowers, made sure I had different colors. We're going to change it. So I've removed all the backings, and I thought, how fun would it be to just have our flowers match the designer series paper. You don't have to do this, it's just a thought. But I thought of it when I was making it. When I was getting ready to put the dimensionals on, I was like, oh, we could change this. We sure can. But they're kind of boring centers. So I grabbed some rhinestones. Just something different. You know, this would be a good idea if you start running out of the paper and you just have bits and you're like, oh, what can I do? Just punch the bits and make this kind of card. I have a scrap piece of paper, piece of Whisper White, and now we need to stamp our sentiment. So I used one of the sentiments from the Thoughtful Blooms, bringing in my Granny Apple Green. I'm going to stamp that right there. I'm going to pull in my Label Me Fancy Punch. Now, the Label Me Fancy Punch has some additional slots. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to line up so I get my hole. And I was like, oh, what ribbon am I going to put in there? That's a tiny hole. So I took my Granny Apple Green ribbon and I cut it in half. So here's what I have left. And then I just pulled the green threads. Oh, I got a lot. That's okay. And then I pulled out my little dental floss, handy dandy tools that you get at the drugstore. I threaded that through. These are pretty fine, so I will warn you. Kind of get them trained down a little bit. Like that. Now, put some dimensionals on the back. And where do we want it? Nope, like it right there. There we go. So there's that card. And then there's this one where I did it the right way with the flowers. Same pieces, just changed where I put them and how I put them. Coordinates with the Heartfelt stamp set, those punches. This time I'm going to use the Calypso Coral row. When I was making my first card, I went to go get the scalloped punch that coordinates with it. And when I was looking for paper, I was like, I have some papers. You know, do you ever do that? You just keep things. You're like, oh, it didn't work for that project. Maybe it'll work for another one. It worked for this one. I love seeing the texture behind it. Now, of course, we're adding something to embossed cardstock. So we're going to get our liquid glue. Oops. Just a little subtle embossing layer there. And you saw on the back of the flowers, or you saw on the back of the hearts where it had the gingham. So I thought, my first card didn't use the gingham. So let's switch it up since we're in the switching mode. There's so many sheets of each pattern. You're going to be fine doing this, I promise. Give this a good crease. We're going to put one heart on with liquid glue. We're going to put the other heart on with some dimensionals. I think this is more of a petal pink, and I thought we're just going to stamp straight on it and see what happens. From my heart to yours, we're going to add a layer of Whisper White. Before we add our layer of Whisper White inside of our card, we're going to do some stamping. I'm going to stamp Love You Lots out of the stamp set. Then I'm going to get the arrows. So here's our finished card compared to this one. See, I used those arrows, but on this one I didn't. I put it on the inside. Super fun cards, super easy. I had a great time, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you get Please Does Punch Designer Series paper. If you need anything, you can find everything you need in the store with the link in the description box below. Happy stamping, y'all!